May your early mornings always be worth it. Cookery in Ireland AM brought to you by Kerrygold.
Now, you're very welcome back. We're out in the gorgeous sunshine in the garden here. We had Edward Hayden, who stayed around for us.
He sure is. What are we having now, Edward?
Well, I thought I'd go in reverse order this morning. So we started,
we had dessert.
Started with dessert. So I'm going to make this as a lovely starter option. But again, there's plenty of versatility around it. We were talking earlier on, I suppose, about Easter dining. And Easter Sunday tends to be almost akin to Christmas Day.
Yeah.
People tend to invite their family and friends around.
Okay. The lamb is out.
The lamb is out.
I heard the lamb's very expensive now. People aren't buying it.
I tell you, you wouldn't want to be eating much of the leg. That's all I want you to know.
Go on. So what are we having?
So I'm going to do a gorgeous crab salad. So I'm going to tell you about multi-ways to serve it. I'm going to serve it today as like a little canapé or a kind of a shared starter option on brown bread with some smoked salmon. What I'm going to do first of all is very, very quickly, I just want to show people at home how to make a little pickled cucumber. Now this is like a cheats pickled cucumber. There's about 48 million recipes for pickled cucumber. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm just literally going around the cucumber and taking off ribbons.
That's a great little gadget. What's that?
It's a vegetable peeler. You know what you peel your spuds with every evening, Alan? It's a great little gadget. We're really starting with the basics.
I don't have a vegetable peeler.
For the apples or anything? No. No, would you never peel anything? No.
And what planet do you think he's making an apple tart?
Of course, right, okay,
now,
there we go.
There we have it.
Do you have one of these? These are a great job.
A grater.
Yeah, like the plane, is there? What's it called? A microplane.
Now, in there, look, really ribbons of cucumber. I'm going to put a little bit of red onion, just a little bit of red onion and a tiny little bit of red chilli. Okay, pop all of that in there. And then I'm literally just going to add to that a little bit of white wine vinegar and just leave that sit for a little while. That makes a lovely little pickles for the cucumber.
Beautiful.
Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch. Well, I've made one here last night, which I'm going to serve you in just a few minutes. So again, I'd keep it, now on that sort of a pickle, I'd keep it for about 3 or 4 days. That's what I would call a really fresh pickle. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move on to the crab. So I'm just putting on a pair of gloves here just for ease of
loads of crab
that.
there.
I've loads of crab. Well, I always have a big family here to feed, so I make sure that they're all left replete when I'm gone home.
Where did you get this crab? That's fresh crab.
Is it lovely or something?
No, that's fresh crab. I got it down in New Ross in the Duncannon Fish Company. They do lovely crab there. And
what way does it come like that in a bag or something?
So again, they'll have prepared it. So they'll have kind of steamed it out of the shells, picked it out. So what I'm going to suggest to everyone at home is to do exactly what I'm going to do. So once you buy the crab, bring home the fresh crab, just pick through it again yourself. So you're just literally picking through it, just making sure there's no traces of shell or any little bit of brittle. It's really nice. Now, obviously, this was in a vacuum-packed bag, so I just literally took it out of it so people would see exactly what it looks like. So once it's all fluffed up there, it looks lovely. So give it a pick through, and it is worth your while picking through it just like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my few ingredients. I've got coriander. Now, coriander is that marmite of herbs. You know, you either like it or you don't. But it works really well with that because it has those lovely citrusy undertones. I'm going to put in a little bit of diced red chilli, Alan, and you can see I've taken almost all of the seeds out of that because you don't want it to be too hot because I'm serving it raw. OK, it's going in there raw. And then what I've got is I've got a lime. So I'm just going to use my other handy little gadget.
You're lovely. You've got all gadgets this morning.
Listen, all bells and whistles for me.
But the microplane's great. You can do your ginger, your garlic.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
I don't have any of them fresh. They're all those, like, in little jars of it.
Yeah.
Now the flies are smelling the fish.
There you have it. They all want a bit of it. Now, so, again, keep going with that if you want it. That's lovely lime juice, or zest, and then, again, give your lime a nice little roll, and then what I'm going to do, a little squeeze. You know Mary Berry, when she's making the lemon cake, she puts them in the microwave. So you could do that as well if you want. Yeah, just for about 10 seconds or so. And then I'm just going to put in some lime juice in there. And lime juice is a really good flavourant, OK? So I'm going to put in some lime juice in there. No. Let's put in those just like that there. Then what I've got is plenty of black pepper. I've said to you on the recipe, OK? Plenty of black pepper. Black pepper works really, really well. It gives you a lovely little flavour for that. And then the final thing I'm going to put in this very simple recipe is I'm just going to put in a spoon or two of creme fraiche. OK, and in the absence of creme fraiche, people might decide to use a little bit of mayonnaise or something like that if they so desired.
Right.
Okay, so that's really, really nice. Now,
Now,
presentation
I would
options.
love that now as a little starter.
Come here till I tell you, it's absolutely gorgeous.
I
So-
wouldn't even have it on brown bread. I'd
no,
have it just
you
as
can have
itself
it whatever
like
way
that.
you like,
yeah.
and that's what I want to tell people at home. Just very briefly, think about getting a lovely, maybe a martini glass or something, and putting some shredded lettuce on the bottom of that glass. Okay, and then put that lovely crab on the top. Think of getting a little tian ring and lining it with some smoked salmon. And
When would you do the put the pickle on? What would you put
I'm
the
going to
pickle
put that
on?
right on the top.
Wait, will you wait?
I'm going to just put a little rosette of that on the top here as
Oh,
well.
you're doing it onto the salmon.
I'm putting it onto the salmon, onto the brown bread. So again, if you didn't want to do, sometimes if I'm going to have like a big leg of lamb dinner, you mightn't necessarily want to do what I would call a kind of a full starter. But I would just love now when people come,
and they can have it or not.
have these at the table,
Yeah.
pop the Prosecco and do all of that jazz. Take a little bit of the... Sorry, I beg your pardon, Alan. Yeah, I'm in the way. Now, do a little bit of that pickled cucumber on the top and then just bring that to the table. And you've just got a really glorious, glorious
That's
starter.
going to go down my top, guaranteed.
Yeah, no, not at all. And then I finish it off. I'm just going to put a few little wedges of lime. So as I said, you just have that ready to go at the table. I'll put it out here at the front so you can get a really good look. And then
That
also
looks delicious.
you get another few little bits of coriander and just sprinkle those around. Pop the Prosecco, and then you've got a gorgeous little starter. But
Like,
isn't
you
it
could
really
even
reminiscent of the summer?
And if there was stayed like this, you'd be sitting in the garden having this before you move inside for your lamb.
You'll be wheeling out the rattan furniture, you'll be popping the Prosecco, putting on the
covers,
SPF,
the covers will be coming off the furniture.
and the lamb will be scalded in the oven.
That's beautiful.
Tommy, do you know what I mean? It's the
creme
lime
fraiche.
in there. It's so fresh. The creme fraiche is really fresh because there's that little bite on it as well. But present that whatever you like. But think of the martini glass or really fancy glass, lettuce and all that. It's lovely.
Edward, thanks so
Absolutely
much.
star.
Meal
Thank you
of Week.
so much.
Absolutely
We've got
gorgeous,
some
yeah.
great spring fashion coming up after this short break.
May your early mornings always be worth it. Cookery in Ireland AM brought to you by Kerrygold.